Alright, Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Lukakudash. I want to give double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakayu from the GMS Orlando camp. And tonight I wanted to touch, real briefly on this topic of fun and the truth. Can we have fun in the truth? And tonight's lesson is inspired by the video I seen from the Elder Apostle Gabar. He did a recent video today on the ISUPK, a question that was asked to the ISUPK, and when I seen it, it stirred up my spirit, and I just want to bring out a couple of precepts concerning the matter. Lord wants us edifying unto you elect, because that's really a gut-wrenching question. Can we have fun in this truth? The real question is it time to have fun in this truth, man? And it's a lot to unpack with that statement, because that statement highlights a mindset that's been within our people and the leaders of our people for many generations now. And it's been a plague to our people, that mindset of fun, that mindset of mirth, that mindset of playing around. It's been a plague to our people for many generations now, man, especially to the so-called leaders of our people, man. Because here it is, we're living in the last days of America, Babylon the Great. And you have our leaders trying to push that spirit of mirth. Here it is, Esau Edom is getting ready to come down with great wrath, man. Things are getting ready to change. And these leaders aren't putting their flock in the mindset of being pilgrims in earth. Their leaders aren't putting their flock in a mindset of preparing themselves for the things that are getting ready to happen on earth. There are a lot of luxuries that are getting ready to be lost here in these latter days, man. The fact that you can shower 3 times a day, 2 times a day. The fact that you have 3 square meals a day. The fact that you have somewhere to lay down and go to sleep. The fact that you have wheels, a mode of transportation. These are luxuries that are going to be taken away pretty soon, man. And we have to be preparing our minds for that right now, man. The leaders, the shepherds of the Lord's flock have been set in place to prepare the Lord's flock, all right, to put them in the mind state of detaching from this place, man. But let's start off here. In Micah chapter 2. This is Micah chapter 2. And let me get verse 10. So I can remember real quick. All right, this is Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. It reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." And at the end of the day, America, Babylon the Great is not our rest, man. And the leaders, your leaders should not be putting you in the mind state as if America is your rest. How can you rest in a place that was designed to stress you out? America was designed to stress us out so that we call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for his deliverance. Not for us to seek some type of solace in this place, man. Which the majority of our people are trying to do here in these latter days, which they've always done in the time of calamity, man. Our people have always found a way to normalize trauma. To normalize grief, to normalize our bad estate. Our people have always found a way to do that. And America's not the place to do that, man. The Lord didn't send us here to normalize this type of trauma. What fun, the question is really, what fun can you have here in America? Really, what fun can you have here? You can have fun at what? That dead-end job that you work at? How can you have fun in a place that's been designed to stress us out? What, you gonna go clubbing? That's old, man. That's played out. You go to these clubs, you get you get looked, stared down by these men. These men will stare you down more than they do the bitches out here, man. Talking about fun, man. What kind of fun can you have in America? Let us know that. You talking about rap videos? What can you say that hasn't already been said by all these rappers? What trend can you set that already hasn't been set by these worldly ass men in the world? What can you do in this world that can possibly bring you some type of solace and joy in America, Babylon the Great? It don't make no fucking sense. Talking about fun. This is not the time nor the place to be having fun. We're getting ready to go through an hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble. Our minds have to be prepared for that. There's a reason why the Lord left us the scriptures. There's a reason, there's a mindset that you learn, that you glean from the scriptures, a mindset, a pilgrimage, a mindset of preparation, a mindset of faith, understanding the times that we're getting ready to enter into, man. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you. And this place, America, is polluted, man. From the family structure is completely gone. You can't hope to build a family here. You can't call having a family here fun. That's polluted. The marriage, the relationship between men and women in this world is completely through. It's done. The family structure here is done. It's finished. And how can you possibly look your son in the eye talking about fun? How can you look your son in the eye knowing that all that you have to leave him behind after your death is a world full of trials and tribulations in Esau Edom's world? With the burden of this truth. You can't even leave fun down to your seeds, man. What fun is there to be had here in America? It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Let's get this in Micah chapter 7 and verse 9. It says, I will bear it, and this is the spirit that we're supposed to be in, bearing the indignation of the Lord, until you rise up and set us free. This is Micah 7 and 9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. And right now we're in the time of bearing the indignation of the Lord. And you can't bear the indignation of the Lord if you're in the spirit of mirth, if you're in the spirit of having fun. Ultimately, we're getting ready to go through, the same trial or similar trial that our Lord went through, that the apostles before us went through. A trial that tried their life, where they had to bear the indignation of the Lord and wait for his salvation. And coming into that, there's a certain mindset that has to be equipped. It says, Micah 7 and 9, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to light, and I shall behold his righteousness. All right, let me get this. In Ecclesiastes, and these precepts are in no particular order. These are just the ones that came to mind as I was watching the Elder Apostles video. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, to everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. And right now we're not in the time of dancing. We're not in the time of having fun. Once again, we're getting ready to enter into some very turbulent times. All right, we're getting ready to enter into some uncharted territory, which is going to require uncharted faith from the Lord's elect. And right now we've been given this grace period to prepare for those times, to arm ourselves with the like-minded Yahushua, to arm ourselves with the faith of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's what we've been given these times for. We haven't been set in this place in the time of liberty and grace, to have fun, to party, to have mirth. That's not what our Lord gave us these times. That's not what our Lord gave us or renewed our mind once again here in these other days. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. It's like my phone just went on 20%. So it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 5, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And right now we're in the time of embracing this truth in its entirety. You know, truly embodying this truth. You know, the mindset of this truth. The walk of the conduct of this truth. We're in the time of embracing the truth and refraining from the ways of this world. And having fun is a way of this world, man. And really, you know, you can't say it enough. What is there out here to do in America? What fun is there to be had here in America? Any vacation you take, you have to come right back and join that and hop right back on the hamster wheel. Even on vacation, you're on the hamster wheel. Because you're worrying about the money you're going to spend and the money you have to get back when you have to go back to work. You're worrying about cleaning up the crib when you get back to where you're staying at. You're worrying about that last day. You go on a vacation for a week. You worry from Monday to Friday. You worrying about Friday coming up. You can't really enjoy the vacation. What fun is there to be had? Yeah, we, you know, amongst the brotherhood, we laugh and, you know, we have good times through the spirit. But it's never a mistaken of what times we're in. It's always an understanding of where we're at concerning prophecy and where we're at concerning the times, man. Yeah, we laugh, we joke, but at the end of the day, we understand what we're a part of. We understand what's at hand. We understand what's at stake. Even when you're amongst brothers, it's a reminder that we need salvation. Because brothers is catching all kind of hell out here, man. Dealing with bitter baby mamas, dealing with ailments, physical ailments, mental ailments, financial problems, car problems, trying to maneuver around Esau Edom's system. Some brothers got family members that's doped out, man. How can you have fun? This is Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 7. How can you have fun when you look out and you see your whole nation through? A whole nation is done and you talking about having fun. Some jakes out here right now got family members that's doped out, man. Finished through. You got jakes out here that's one check away from being homeless. You talking about having fun. We not in the time of having fun, man. We in the time of doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and preparing ourselves mentally and spiritually for what's getting ready to happen in the earth. That's what time we're in, man. It says, verse 7, verse 6, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rent and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And right now we're in the time of war. There's a war being waged in your city and you don't got to step outside to be in it. It's a war being waged on us on all fronts as we speak. We're in the time of war, not the time of peace. In the times of peace, yeah, you can have fun. Which ultimately that time of peace is going to come when Yahushai comes and sets up his dominion on the planet Earth. But right now, we're not in the time of peace. We're in the time of war. Esau Edom is attacking us on all fronts. Mentally, spiritually, this nigga got 5G out here. He got us working these dead-end jobs. He's attacking us on all fronts. The food, the water, the entertainment. Hell, look at the society this nigga is set up, man. How can you have fun here? How can you have fun in a society that's designed to destroy you? designed to destroy your people. Once again, I'm gonna keep talking about it, man. You can't set up any type of enterprise here. What you gonna do? Set up a business? That's gonna fail. You can't get ahead in that. And ultimately, if you do get a couple of pieces of Esau Edom's, a couple of crumbs off of Esau Edom's pie, look at the rest of your nation. Look at the rest of Jake. Done. And a real leader, a real man, can't sit back and have fun while the rest of his people is through, man. It just don't make sense. It says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Well, right now we are not in the time of peace. All right, we're in the time of war. All right, preparing ourselves for the battle that's getting ready to be waged. All right, in its entirety on our lives, man. Ultimately, that question highlights a mind state, and it shows that a lot of Jakes don't really truly understand what they're a part of. You know, they don't understand the gravity of this truth, the gravity of this testimony that we carry on a daily basis. This testimony that we carry ultimately is considered treason because we're speaking against Esau Edom's kingdom. We're speaking against America. We're speaking against this infrastructure. We're speaking against this hegemony of America, Babylon the Great. So with that, you know, it's going to come trials. It's going to come tribulations. You have to prepare ourselves for that, man, because just like the scripture say in Acts the 14th chapter, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. We're getting ready to go through a time of tribulation, a period of tribulation. And if your mind state is geared toward having fun right now, you're not going to be prepared for the times that's getting ready to overcome the world, man. You know? Let's get this real quick. Since I'm speaking about, you know, the mind state, and Apostle Gabar brought it out in his lesson. You know, and it's true. This is Romans chapter 12. In verse 2, it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Heavenly Father." You know, right now is the time for us to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. You know, arming ourselves with the like mind in Yahweh Shai. Putting off the mindset of the niggas in this world, putting off the mindset of this worldly mind state, all right, and dwelling in the heavens, having our conversation in the heavens constantly. When you read the scriptures and you have a proper understanding of the scriptures, there's a certain mind state that follows it. You know, there's a certain mind state that follows it. And it's a mind state of preparation, like it says in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that he may run that readeth it. When you read these words, you're supposed to run. You're supposed to run to what? Spiritual and mental preparation. The times aren't light, man. The times aren't light. And it's definitely not a time to be having fun. We're definitely not in the time of mirth, man. Definitely not in the time of mirth. Definitely not in the time of mirth, man. And I just have a couple more and I'm going to close it out. You know. You see. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7. And I'm start at verse 3. I'm start at verse 2. It says, "It is better to go into the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth." You know, right now the house of the wise is in mourning. You know, understanding the times that we're in. You know, understanding the testimony that we carry. You know, the house of the wise is the mind of the wise is in mourning. You know, the heart of the wise is in mourning right now. Hey, but just like, that Cam said, wisdom is for fools, wisdom is for cowards. So ultimately, yeah, we understand why their mind state is in having fun, because they abhor wisdom. It says, I'm gonna jump down to verse 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. The patient in spirit is better than the proud in heart. And right now, man, this oppressive state, it should be putting you in a state of mourning. It should be putting you in a state of preparation. It should be putting you in a state of yearning and mourning for the Lord to return and to turn back our captivity. There ain't no fun to have here in America, Babylon the Great, man. There ain't no fun here. What can you do that hasn't already been done? What else is there left to do? Really ask yourself that question. What is there out here to do? You gonna go clubbing and be around or be amongst all them niggas? Hell, anywhere you go out in today's society, you get more looks from these men. These men stare at you more than they do the women out here, man. Whether they be because of they all white wicked or because of they moles, man. How can you have fun in a world like that? It don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense, man. But let me see. Let me get this last one and then I'll close it out. This is our 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night. And the Lord is coming as a thief in the night to those who are not watching, to those who are not in the right spirit. Because ultimately the prophecies were left as a sign of the times, for us to measure the times. And right now you have a lot of Israelites who are not measuring the times properly. They aren't watching for the signs the Lord left behind. They aren't watching to tell, they aren't watching the signs to tell what times we're in. They just in the spirit of mirth. They just in the spirit of having fun. But the Apostle Paul said this, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night. And just like it says in Romans the 13th chapter, our salvation is nearer than when we believe. So with that being said, that would mean that the tribulation is nearer than when we believe. Because the tribulation has to happen before our salvation. And these things are coming sooner than when we believe, man. The Lord can pop things off next month. Things can pop off this year, next year. And when they do, we have to be prepared and ready to depart from this place. To depart from the people of this place. To depart from the different family members. To depart from the different luxuries that you're afforded in this life. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep in the night, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. And ultimately, the Lord has given us this truth and made us privy, to the signs and the times. We're not children of the darkness anymore, man. We're children of the light. And with that light comes a responsibility. As a leader, there comes a responsibility to warn those who are in darkness to come to the light. Because an even greater darkness is coming to the world. which is going to engulf those who are encased in the darkness, man. Hey, but with that being said, man, that's all I have for tonight. I just wanted to say a couple of words on that topic. I seen the Elder Apostle Gabar's video earlier today, and I really couldn't bring out everything I wanted to, in my mind. But Lord wants to still edify unto you elect, man. There ain't no fun to be had here in America. Ain't no fun here to be had. Our mind state should be on focusing on the journey ahead, focusing on the task at hand, preparing ourselves mentally and spiritually for what we're getting ready to experience. Arming ourselves with the like-minded Yahweh Shai. That's the times that we in. That should be our focal point. All right, gaining an experience and wisdom and knowledge and understanding and faith. That should be our focal point as of right now. Doing the work in the will, doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, feeding the sheep. That is our focal point as of right now. Not having fun. Hell, the fun comes from doing the work. But hey, that being said, we want to edify unto you elect. Till next time, shalom. Stay up. And shalom to all you Akim and Aqua in the comment board. Shalom. Shalom.